Good morning, chat, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are back with more Formula 1 Grand Prix race 20 out of 23, almost at the end of the first season, and we are at Mexico City for the Mexican Grand Prix. So a quick recap on last time around. We was at the Texas Grand Prix last time around, and we came second. We should have won the race, but we made a minor issue on our pit entry lap. We went too narrow towards the pit, so we weren't able to get around the corner kind of at the right angle. So we ended up slowing down and then doing an additional lap. So we lost time there, and then we went into the pit perfectly the second time around. But the damage of the time was already done on the previous lap. We fell back quite far back, but we did well to gain back the positions, but unfortunately only a second place. There was two incidents in that race that had nothing to do with me. We had a nudge with Norris as we exited the pit, but that was about the only really real one that we actually made in that race. So it was a good race overall, just not a winner. But it was valid points for the team. So we're looking good. So today in Mexico City, I can't remember all of Mexico City. If I remember right, it has a very weird right hand bend. You go around it and it goes straight, and then it's like a double right hand bend, but it's kind of like a U bend but with two corners rather than just the one. That's the only thing that I remember massively about this circuit, if it is the one that I believe it to be. But before that, we've got a very hot lap. So we got the average speed zone or an autocross. We normally do well with the speed zone, so I think we'll go with that again and see how we go. So, into the supercar for the average speed lap. Let's get comfortable. There we go. Right. So, how much of this? We're going to do the whole lap. So, 3 rounds, so take on a challenging section of the circuit. Average speed measured, the best speed for 3 attempts will be the final result. Be careful not to leave the circuit as that will be an invalid round. So we have to stay on the circuit and we have to do it in a pretty good time. One's at 60 miles per hour, silver 70 miles per hour, and gold at 78 miles per hour. Okay, so let's go for round 1 here and see how we do. Lost a bit of control there. Not good. Come on. No, didn't quite come around on that bend. And there's the home straight. So a failed attempt on the first one, so 2 attempts left to do this. Good this time. So the average speed of that was 76.53. So that will get us silver, but it's not quite quick enough. We need to gain another 1.5 seconds this time around. Or an extra mile an hour, should I say. Feels good. And that was 79, so we do get gold. So a very good run there. That little drift round the left-hand bend kept us above 50 miles an hour around that bend, which was a massive help. So good job there. We did. Coming off the track in the first round, a good solid time in round 2, and then we topped it off with a beautiful 79.87 in round 3, getting the gold. So an extra 1,000 acclaim. Okay. So it's race weekend here in Mexico City, and let's have a look what we've got in store for the weekend. Okay, so we're looking at 3 practice sessions, followed by a qualifier, followed by a 36 lap race. So that's going to be quite an interesting race at 36 laps. But the weather is good all weekend long, so shouldn't have an issue with tyre compounds. So could be into a good weekend now. I just want to have a look at the map here to see if this is the circuit I was thinking of. And I'm not sure. It could be on the map on the bottom right corner. It could be that double bend that I'm thinking of, but I'm not 100% sure. It only thing that might look like it, but we'll find out sooner or later when we get round to that part of the track. Okay, so here we go. Practice 1. No, it doesn't look like it. That'd be a double bend, which we saw, so it's not the circuit I was thinking of. Okay. That may have been the Germany track on a Gran Turismo. So let's have a look at what we have here.
They told you about the new parts that have come in from the factory, right? Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they do the trick.
Yeah, we did see the new parts. So we've got the race strategy as normal, we've got tyre management and the track demonstration. So let's have a look at the track demonstration here. Beat the average speed trap speed. Activate the DRS in all DRS zones. I think there's 2 DRS zones here. And then achieve an average cornering speed in a single lap. Okay, so that don't sound too bad. It's just a matter of whether we can maintain speed around corners to get this done. So we have 3 laps to do. We're going to be using the hard tyres. Before we do though, go to my car setup, and we're going to reduce this down to a balance system. Normally I go preset 2, because this is so far up there, we're just going to go with a balance preset 3, just to see how we do. So, right here we go.
Okay, your goal is to get through as many corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Remember to activate your DRS in the DRS zone as well.
I'm not liking this already. There we go.
Okay, DRS zone coming up. Get ready to open it. Distance is on your MFD. Oh yeah.
A little bit there on that one, but not a bad first one. Missing 2. Okay, we picked up one that we missed before. This is a very good lap. One looks a bit better.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
That turned out to be a good session overall. So now we need to figure out where we actually turn off to go into the pit. I think it's somewhere around here. No, further around, okay. Pit lane somewhere around here. I've seen it. Ah, here we go. Right on the bend. Okay, that's a weird pit entry. So, on our pit lap, that corner is going to be very slow. We're going to lose time. I mean, we might be able to cut it a little bit, but Okay, so that turned out to be a pretty good session. A 123.342 by George Russell on a medium tyre. So we're just over a second slower, but on a harder tyre. That's not bad. Yeah, it looks like sector 2 and 3 might be the slowest two. Definitely sector 2 around the chicanes. We definitely lost a bit of time there. But as the program went, only 4 out of 5. We didn't beat the average speed trap. Okay, interesting. But I'm not overly concerned with that. So let's accelerate time and go into P2, and then we'll be doing the tyre management in P2. So we'll have to drive a clean lap without leaving the track, activating the DRSs again, and drive a clean sector. So those three should not be a problem at all. Tyre management, we may have to change the car setup slightly to give us a better time. But other than that, I think we should be fine. Let's have a look at some lap times here. So Fernando Alonso on the softer tyres, well, things have changed. George Russell now fastest lap on the softer tyres, a 122.335. London Norris in 10th at the minute on a hard tyre, 124.216. So we're in 13th in a minute on the hard tyre, just over 2 seconds behind, but we're on the slowest compound. Huh? I think that's fair to say that's a decent time. I mean, if you look at the second time on the hard tyre, there's only 200ths of a second between it. So, you know, we're definitely going to be within the race. Norris putting in a solid time there, 122.509 on the soft tyre, having the fastest first sector as well. So Norris looking good.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top three, who are Russell, Norris and Carlos Sainz. And that's it, practice is officially over. Until next time, goodbye.
The good thing for that is we know that Norris can actually run with the contenders on this circuit, so you know we're looking for both drivers to possibly be in the top 5 would be nice. So let's go over to P2. Okay, just before we go to P2, let me check my engine, and everything is green and no sign of anything need to change. Looking at that, we shouldn't need to have any more penalties for new parts either. So we should be good for the last 3 races. Okay, so let's go to the session here for P2 as we go for some tyre management here for P2. Now we may need to run this twice. Not a good start. Electrical systems fault. That's gonna set us back just under 9 minutes. So let's...
Okay, we seem to be having a few software issues at the moment. Sit tight for a few minutes while we reboot some things, okay?
A few minutes, nearly 10 minutes, about a few minutes. Okay, let's just skip the repair time. Now we know the traffic might be a little bit busy, but 10 minutes is a lot of time to be losing. So, drive a clean lap, activate the DRS, and drive a clean set. Oh, pretty much. Okay. We are using car setup. I think with the balance out, we may go into the increased downforce. But we shall see how we go. See how we handle this. So on the medium tyres as well, so our lap time will be a little bit quicker than P1.
We need to be sure we can manage the tyres through a lap, so try to keep the wear down through each corner. Be especially careful accelerating on corner exit.
There we go. Okay, we lost a lot of tyre wear towards the end there. Oh hell. That threw me off. Okay, green. Time was good. But that massive drop of tyre wear. Very confusing of what may have caused that. Well, we avoided that tyre wear this time. This could be purple. That's a job well done.
Programme complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
It only took us 2 laps. Okay, that was not a bad pit entry either, much better than P1. So, not a bad session so far. We're going to check some lap times here. I don't think we did too bad on lap times. Okay, so let's see. Verstappen currently lead with the fastest lap of 1:23.412 on a medium tires, only having the first sector. We're third at 1:23.743, so just over 300 seconds slower, but we have the fastest second sector, which is very surprising. So, not too bad. Alvin De Vries on the softer tyres. Nick De Vries, though, fastest third sector, that's surprising. So, let's have a look at Norris. He's not been out yet. So we'll come back to that. Hi there, Epic Samuel 19, how are you? Welcome to the channel. So let's, how do we do it? Well, we smashed it, knocked it out of the park for the tyre management here at P2. So we can accelerate time and go to P3 for the race strategy, where we'll be looking at average speed trap, DRS zones, and racing line. That's going to be an issue. We might fail two of them, to be fair. Let's get back to the lap times while we'll fast forward through time. Lando Norris putting in a good time on the medium tyre, taking 5th place. George Russell leading on the softer tyres, fastest in all sectors as well. But we've not run on the softer tyres yet, so 122.5 is what they're looking at. We will be running the softer tyres in P3. But Lando Norris is really putting some good times on the medium tyres to be in the top 5. Now Carlos Sainz taking the top spot with a 122.201, taking sector 2. Fernando Alonso going second, taking sector 1. So things are... The fact that Albion is up there is interesting as well. So this could be very interesting.
The session has drawn to a close, so let's review our top 3. Sainz, Fernando Alonso and George Russell. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye as free practice is over. However, we'll be back shortly for more Formula 1 action.
It's very surprising to see Ocon, Albion and Gasly, all three up there, putting in a good time. So I think Qualifier and race day could be a very upsetting session. Looking at some of these times from the lower vehicles. But hopefully there's going to be a few penalties, just like there was at the Texas Grand Prix last week, with around about 6 or 7 drivers having penalties going into the race. So it was very interesting to see the grid lineup after all those penalties. So P3, doing the race strategy. This will be the last section of the practice. Hopefully we can do well. So we're gonna... This car setup seems to be working very well at the minute. We're not spinning, we're not locking up at the minute, so it seems okay. I think if we went up, we'll probably get a few lock-up tyres, not sticking to the ground as well. Normally I would go to the increased downforce, but last two practice sessions have been pretty well for us, so we're not going to change anything just yet. So, beat the average trap now. We failed that before on P1, so we may fail that again because we don't have the speed in the car. But the DRS zone shouldn't be a problem, but the racing line will always be a problem. So let's get out there and see how we do. On the softer tyres, 22.5 was around about the average time on a softer compound. So
okay, we need a few solid laps here to help us calculate a good race strategy.
So we're going to put 5 laps in here. See how this handles. There we go. A bit wide there. Lost time. Yeah, I think we just managed that, and I mean only just. You know, this is much quicker. Only the second fastest right now. Be careful on that corner there. Oh yeah, one of a corner cutting. That is the fastest lap. Definitely can't make that speed trap with this car setup. Okay, we don't have the fastest lap anymore. Hamilton has it, but I'm more surprised that Ocon overtook me on the fastest lap. What is Ocon driving? Well, we failed this one. Okay, last lap. Should have gone down the gear earlier. Could have cost me. That early shift not good.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
We got 4 out of the 5 laps here, which wasn't too bad. Okay, in the pit we go. Fourth fastest now. Perez going above me, which is not good because Perez is currently my rival for the next 2 races. He'll be my rival up until just before the last race of the season. I won't have another one after him. So we've won one, lost one if I remember in the rivalries so far. Okay, so 4 fastest. We have sectors 2 and 3 we're losing time in sector 1, which I'm not too surprised on, to be honest, because of the car setup, we don't get that top speed. So that might be why. But we're looking at half a second, nearly. I'll compare. Let's have a look at. Okay, no. Yeah, a lot of drivers have not been out, so that time 22.9, definitely not enough. Because I remember saying 22.5 was about average. So I'm expecting quite a lot of vehicles to go above me right now. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this a test because we're not locking up a lot. I'm gonna see how the car handles. With this strategy. It doesn't turn as well, but definitely, and it locks up. Yeah, that's what we wanted to avoid. We don't have the grip on the surface with this setup. This is definitely not the car strategy cell we will be using. Yes, it may be quicker along the long straights in the DRS zones, however, not good for cornering as we don't have the friction on the ground with that setup. So it means braking a lot earlier to get that acceleration out of corners. So it was a good test run with it, but it's not what we're going to be using. It might be wild, but I'm going to go on to what I would normally use. For a couple of laps, just to see if it's going to help me with a faster time on corners rather than the straight. Definitely not the straight. Yeah, we can always see how slow this is down this main straight. Two and a half seconds slower on that lap. Well, we definitely know what setup we're going to be using for the race day. Yes, we may be struggling for pole, but I think we should be within the top 5 by the end of the race, hopefully, providing we do finish the race. But we do really need to be within the top probably 2 or 3 rows going qualify. So within the top 6 is where we need to qualify to try and get ahead off the straight. So let's put it back onto here. Put back onto it. Accelerate time. How far behind are we? Just under a second. At the time I was looking at, would have put me around about 4. We could struggle here. Any surprises up here other than Bastian Ocon? Very surprised on his performance. He was just over a second faster than me. 1/100th of a second faster than me, should I say. It's a whole second. And it looks like it's raining, which was not predicted. So that concludes practice sessions 1, 2 and 3. As we get ready for race day.
And with the cars now over the line, let's see our top 3 again. Norris, Leclerc and Max Verstappen. What an incredible practice session that was. But the fun doesn't stop here though. Join us again as the rest of the weekend unfolds.
Well, that is very surprising. Lando Norris takes the top spot on P3 with a 1:21.709, just under 200 of a second faster than Charles Leclerc. We did a 1:21.897. Sergio Perez was just above me by only 500 of a second, so not too bad. Okay. It's going to be a very interesting qualifying session because I'm not putting in the lap times at the minute, but we've been there before where practice session we've not put in big lap times and then qualifier somehow I know where we just knock it out of the park. Hopefully today's going to be another one of those sessions. And hopefully Norris can do the same as well. Okay, so here we go, getting ready for Q1. So top 15 is what we need here to qualify for Q2. I'm not sure what the average time was through that session, but I'm not overly concerned regard to it, but I want to make sure I can't do it here. Okay, let's go to the qualifying and make sure the car setup is the one we want. Okay, so car setup. Yeah, we want the balanced one, which is already set, so that's lovely. Everything is good. Okay, let's get our first lap out of the way. There we go. Like the start. Too sure about that sector. Was an early shift not good? And that is currently first place, a 120.5 I believe, or thereabout. That should be enough for top 15.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
The pit we go after a good first lap. It currently stands at the minute in pole position. Okay, so let's have a look at how things are shaping up. So, oh wow, we was actually that fast. Wow. But we no longer have the fastest first, third sector. Norris did have it, but now Russell has it. But a good performance by Norris though, getting in there under a 122 as well. How the hell did we do a 120 during the whole practice session? We struggled to get a 122.5. And the fact that we're 2 seconds faster in qualifying 1 that we was in P3 is surprisingly amazing, really. Especially having the fastest first sector, that's the hard one. Because of that long straight at the start, you know, in the DRS zone, we just don't have the acceleration. So, let's accelerate time because we're not concerned over top 15 right now. And by that, you know, we're looking top 3. Norris is safe as well. Okay, drivers back in and out. So Norris dropped down a bit, but he's still within the top 10 for what I can tell. So a good first session in Q1. Lando Norris finishing in 6th place after Q1 as he makes the Q2. Let's see, any surprises up there? Ocon in the top 10. That's the main one. Kevin Magnussen making the top 15. Okay. So Pierre Gasly and Ocon both making the top 15. And Ocon made the top 10. It's looking good. Okay, so Q2 here, top 10. Gonna go straight out there, get an early lap in. Yeah, I think shape. Anything like the first session. Go. It's a good start. Not a good section there. I think sector 2 is going to be slow. So that's currently pole, and it's actually faster than the one I... No, it's not. Slower. But it should be enough. 21.486. But we knew sector 2 was slow. But I think that's enough for the top 10. I don't think it's enough for pole. So we will need to do a faster time than that in Q3.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Okay, in the pit we go. So as things stand, as we come into the pit, we do currently lead the fastest time, but I really don't think it's gonna stay. as long as we stay within the top 10, I'll be happy with that. So let's go and have a look at the current times. So we're just under 400 of a second faster, and it's actually sector 3 that is slow. I thought it would have been sector 2. So very surprising with that. And the Norris, you definitely need to put on another lap. You need to do faster than that. You need to do 400 of a second faster than that. You need, yeah, definitely need to do about 400 of a second faster. He's struggling here. That's been Ocon up there in 7th. Lance Stroll, quite surprisingly, in the top 10 at the minute. Let's just accelerate time. So we need to see Norris pop into that screen. Will he do it? And we will stay pole. Okay, we don't stay at the top, but we did see Norris pop in there. So that is good for both of us. We both made Q3. I dropped down to 4th. And Norris going up into 6th. And let's see, Pierre Gasly makes it. Ooh, Ocon does not make it. His teammate Gasly does so. Very surprising. I expected that the other way around. Red Bull not looking good right now. They only just made it as well. So here we go. Qualifying session 3 to find out where we're going to start on the grid, and we know we need to do at least possibly a 21.3. Is going to be the predicted time that we need to make. 21.3 for pole. Might even be 21.2, but it's not going to be easy with these cars in front of me. Like, right. I hate it. Lucky enough, it was before the start of the lap, so let them get ahead of me. There we go. A good start. Not too sure about that cornering. A bit late on the DLS as well. It's not looking good, I'm not liking it. Okay, we're only 7th, not good. 121.4. I think we're gaining time a bit. liking that. Definitely not liking this. We'll pit and just come back out.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Okay, so we got a lot of work to do, but Norris in a good position at the minute, currently in the top 5. We are not, currently 7th. So we definitely need to come back out again. I'm going to have a quick look at the lap times before we do though, just to give me a rough idea of how much faster we need to be. I mean, anything faster is going to help, don't get me wrong. But we need to be competitive here if we want to start within the top 2-3 rows. So currently a 1:21 dead is the target time. 1:21.2 is what we're looking at for the top 5 even. Okay. So we need to somehow gain around about 300 of a second. I don't think that's gainable. Might be able to gain probably 200 of a second, maybe 3. But we are not going to gain 400 of a second. If we do, I've only done under a 1:21 once. And that was in P1. Sorry, Q1. And I don't know how that was. Here we go.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes' time. Rain in 10 minutes.
Rain. Not good. He's better. That is not good. And we've lost. No good. Oh dear, oh, we have to pit this lap now. We have not done it. 6th place is what we're looking at the minute. So we're going to be in about row 3 if things stay as they are. And Lewis Hamilton just put in the fastest lap. So we have dropped to 8th. Carlos Sainz going above him. Wow. Not the best of qualifying sessions. It really isn't. We almost had a decent time to put us above Norris, but sector 3 was a problem. So there we go, that concludes the end of Qualifier.
We're
How
all
does
ready
the
for
grid
tomorrow's
shape up?
race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Hamilton, Leclerc and George Russell. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
So, as things stand, Lando Norris will be starting in 6th place. We will be starting in 8th. But if there is any penalties, that may change. So we may go up the grid a bit, we may not. That will remain to be seen on race day when it shows me the grid lineup. So we just nudged ahead on the qualifying position over Perez of 23 to 19. So this rivalry is going to be ending very shortly as well. As with this race and one more for the rivalry. I believe we won one, lost one, so hopefully we can make it 2 out of 3. So according to that, the weather should be fine. For some reason we've had a bit of rain on E3 and a bit of rain on Q3 as well, which was not scheduled for, so I'm not going to rely on that at all at the minute. But for now, chat, because it's going to be a long race of 36 laps, I'm going to have a quick 3-minute break, stretch my legs and wipe some of this sweat off me before we start, and then we'll get back to it with 36 laps in Mexico City. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. And chat, we are back. So, there we go, 36 laps here at Mexico City for the Mexican Grand Prix. So let's see how the grid lineup is going to be after a somewhat disappointing third qualifying session. So we was 8th, but let's see if there's any penalties that may push us further up the grid before we start. And here we go.
Bienvenidos to the most populous city in North America. The legendary Jim Clark won the first official F1 race back in 1963 here. And we've had a veritable who's who of winners ever since. It's Mexico City, and therefore, the Mexico City Grand Prix. We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6-mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Norris, Sainz, Leclerc, Martin, Ocon, Magnussen, Verstappen, Gasly, Bottas, Tsunoda, Stroll, Albon, Hulkenberg, Joe, De Vries, Perez, and Logan Sargent. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. They've been involved in a number of costly incidents lately. That's got to affect their mindset going into this race.
It's not an ideal situation by any means. When you get into a bad run like that, there's always a risk of frustration creeping in, which can cause more mistakes and locks you into this vicious cycle. Hopefully today they can get through turn 1 cleanly and stay calm for the rest of the race.
Okay, so there you have it, chat. Norris moving up to 4th on the grid, and I moved up to 8th on the grid due to up to 7th on the grid due to penalties. So let's have a look at what the other drivers are going to be starting out on. A lot of choices for medium tyres at the top of the grid. Quite a few softs going towards the back of the grid. That's actually surprised me to see Sergio Perez starting on the medium. I thought he would have gone soft to try and really get up the grid. So that's interesting to see. We've not decided what we're using yet. We're going to have a look at the strategies. As always, chat, if you think of a better strategy or a recommended strategy, let me know in the chat and we'll check them out as well. So, mediums looks like the most commonly tyres to start on at the minute. So, let's go over to the race strategy. So, it looks like a medium to hard is going to be the recommended, but question is, how much can we get out of these soft tires to make only a 1 stop on the soft? So let me just edit this and remove that. That does not look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. Maybe even that. Let's see, is that faster? So 426, 8, so 2 seconds slower. How is that 2 seconds slower? Okay, so what about going on to the hearts? How does that look? Even worse? So it looks like the medium hard then. Now, fuel wise, 37.4. We're doing 38 laps. So why we're taking less fuel? Oh no, 36 laps. That's a lot of extra fuel. I'm dropping that 37.2. Sorry, the car's going to be a bit lighter. So it looks like race strategy 1 is going to be the one we're going to go with. Seeing that having the softer tyres not really going to do much for us. I'm going to set this back to revert to what it started with. See, even that is slower than the one I suggested, so definitely gonna go with that strategy. Car setup, that is on preset 3, which is the default one. Yep, that's fine. Okay, we are all set for race. So here we go, chat. We've taken the default strategy, we've reduced the fuel a little bit so the car's a bit lighter. See how we go. It's race day at Mexico City. We're off for a good start.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Okay, we had a little collision with Russell there. I didn't see him at the side of me. That's not a bad start. Puts his back in there, trying to avoid it. This is where we struggle down this long straight. We take second place.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
And we've managed to take first place.
That was the
And the
fastest lap
fastest
of the
lap.
race. Keep this up. Well done.
DRS is now available. Look how much quicker they are on that home straight. No, that's not good.
The Aston Martin drivers just moved into first place.
Bit late on that information, aren't you? Alonso is saying the fastest lap. Oh, come on, Hamilton. Damaging my front wing there. How come I don't have DRS on there? Weird. I should have had the DRS there.
Our gap behind is 2.0 seconds.
It's going to be slow down the straight now. Didn't get the exit we wanted. A much better exit there. Was Russell setting the fastest lap? that bend.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
Oh shit. That's not good. Tires have got the wheel on them. They're not whipping the road like there was at the start. Not good. Can't get round these corners as quick.
You're just starting to drop back from the car in front by about 2 seconds a lap now. Get your head down.
We're hitting in soon, I think, as well. Within the next 3 laps, I think.
Okay, the gap behind is 2.6 seconds. Gap to your teammate behind is 3.0 seconds.
Oh no, it's gone back up to 5th, which is good. Oh no, it's gone into 4th, even better. Not far behind me, is right. I can see him in my mirror.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.0 seconds. Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
Okay. Pit window in 2 laps. Not a good section. That's slow. Norris is right behind me now.
Our gap to the car in front is 3.8 seconds.
That was a slow lap. Well, we should be fitting this lap.
Push now, we're boxing this lap.
In a bit we go.
Okay, let's go now. Come on.
That was a good
Perfect
time.
job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
So we're coming out in about 7th.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
As you say, George Russell's out of the race. And there he is out of the race on that corner.
Okay, clear.
That's wonderful. As he is currently the leader in the championship, and Mercedes currently leads the Constructors' Championship. One Mercedes out the race is always a good thing. Play on that one.
Lando's in the pits. Lando in the pits.
Okay, up to 3rd. The race is on. But I don't know if Alonso has been in the pit yet. If not, then 2nd place is looking good right now. If he has been in the pit, then it's going to be an exciting end to the race. Downside is Perez being above me. He's my rival, so that's never a good sign.
Okay, gap to the car ahead is 3.7 seconds.
Okay, we're into 2nd. Just me and Alonso. And Norris is not in the top 5, which is not a good sign either. He needs to pick it up a bit. section again is bad. Still not gaining at all. Anything, but it's getting further behind. But we've got a nice lead behind Hamilton now, which is a good sign. I'd just love to know what Austin Martin's done to that car. He is just good. We've been losing about a second a lap somewhere.
At the moment, the car behind is lapping faster than us by around a second a lap.
So is the car in front. And still got about 10 laps to go. That was not a good section. Stage right up my back end now. with the corners there letting me down so much right now.
The car behind's gaining on you by 0.5 a lap.
There we go. Not much I can do.
Okay, the safety car is out. Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace.
Other than the safety car being out, I don't know what the situation is, but my teammate's just gone in the pit. Right, that's the put soft tyres on for the
Lando's coming in for his stop now.
And I'm caught back up with the safety car, so now this could be interesting to see how the remainder of this race unfolds now. How many laps this safety car is going to be out for, and whether anyone else goes in the pit to allow Norris to get back up the grid. But what I've just seen on the mini-map is that Norris is in last place right now.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap. Keep managing your tyres, manage your tyres. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 6.7 seconds. Green flag.
Perez out of the race, lovely. Couldn't see the braking line. Not good at all, that. Get on, get on, get on. That is not good. I couldn't see the braking line. That gave Alonso a big lead now.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag again. Well, this might be where Perez went off. There he is.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
Get out of it.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
2 laps to go. And the minute looking like back-to-back second places. Don't think we can catch up with Alonso.
Okay, let's see if we can catch the car ahead. Gap currently 5 seconds.
Very unlikely.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Here we go, we just need to maintain this for one more lap. And there we go, we take second place.
I'm
What
proud
a
of you,
Grand
man.
Prix.
That was a good job. You did really well out there.
Oh,
Superb
man.
driving.
Driver of the day, Lance Stroll.
It's a
Okay.
performance to be proud of from our Mexico City Grand Prix winners today. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Well,
Aston Martin's
Alonso
performance today
was
has shown that
very
they can be
quick.
competitive with the biggest
Give him
names in the
credit for
sport.
that.
They're making their way out to the podium as we speak, and the reaction from the crowd must be incredibly uplifting for them.
big question is, how far up the grid did Norris go up? I'm assuming he was partly responsible for for the safety car coming out. Because he was the only one that I know that pitted during that time. So, what a Grand Prix here in Mexico. Second place on the podium again.
So let's review the drivers' standings. This result then narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Fernando Alonso, wherever he is, whatever team he's in, when is he not just brilliant? He'll give you a performance every time, just like he's done today.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, I think, you know, I agree with that Lance Stroll being driver of the day. He started in 14th, he finished in 7th, and he had the fastest lap as well. So big credit there for Lance Stroll. And for Aston Martin, he really put some points on the board today. Lando Norris, 10th overall, so he gets a point. The 19th was overall, 15th for Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. That's 25, so that doesn't help. Lewis Hamilton only getting a 12, which does help because George Russell was out of the race. Verstappen dropping, only getting 4 points, with Perez being out of the race as well. So things could change here on the standings. So let's have a quick look at the race damage to see if we can see what was going off during our race. Quite a few of them had a two-stop here. You know, Norris was one of them. We also had Magnussen and Bottas had a two-stop as well. So they may have gone in during the safety car as well to put the sauce back on. So let's have a look. Incidents here in lap 1 with my collision with George Russell, which we know about. It wasn't major. But in lap 18, George Russell there with a mechanical failure. And here is lap 28. This is what caused the safety car, Lando Norris, collision with Magnussen. And then Sergio Perez on lap 32. Very surprising to see him have a mechanical failure and exit the race early as well. Pit stop times, we did a 2.302, nowhere near the fastest. Fastest pit time, let's see, in a 2.319. Uh, 2.268. So it looks like Charles Leclerc had the fastest pit there, 2.268. Bottas and Magnussen and Norris, all three of them there, changing the front wing. Yes. So let's go over to the standings. Over to the driver standings. We stay at 5th place. Charles Leclerc up to 3rd. Verstappen at 4th. What's the gap here? Just 9 points between myself and Verstappen. They were pushing for 4th place. Can we get 3rd? It is possible. But with George Russell going out, that closes the gap. Race on between the two Mercedes with 3 races to go. So maximum points are, let's see, 23, so 46, 79. We cannot do it. I cannot see a DNF for all of these. So we can't win the Drivers' Championship, but we can come in the top 3, which is going to be a big achievement. And over to the Construction Championship, 4th, closing on the Ferrari, 378, 400, so 22 points behind. but Mercedes dropping points today is a big one. I don't think we can get in the top 2 again. I'd be happy with top 3. So we're looking at top 3 for both the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship if things go in our favour. So where are we next time around? Well, we've won the rivalry here. Look at that. We just need 1 point. That's all we need, and there's 1 race remaining for that rivalry, and that's job done. So we will be at race 21 out of 23. We'll be in Brazil at Sao Paulo? I think you pronounce the O, so it could be Sao Paulo. In Brazil. So, that's going to be an interesting Grand Prix.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
So, a quick look at the vehicle here, see if we need to do anything. Yeah, this engine here taking a bit of wear and tear now. But should be fine. 3 races, 21, 23 races, so this internal combustion engine is going to get changed at least twice. We'll try and push it out, but we'll go back to number 2 and 3, and they're not too bad. And then also possibly it may change, yeah, we'll definitely change it, go back to the first one at some point as well. So hopefully shouldn't get through this without any more penalties, but it all depends on how much strain that we put on the engine going forward into the next 3 races. So that's how the season has resulted so far. We've had a good season other than 1, 2, 3, 4. I know there's only 4, but technically there was 5 DNFs. But when we did finish the race, we finished quite well. 7th, 5th, 19th, 17th, 18 is the DNF. No, it's not. 17th is the DNF. Miami, I believe. First, 6th, and an 18th in Japan, and a first, second. So doing well. But that is it for today, chat. So we got 3 races left to do. We will be back. Let me see. There we are on Thursday. Hopefully get it done next week, so we want to shoot the. We'll be back. Why have I streamed today? I know I'm streaming tomorrow, not today. Oh well, that's confusing. Never mind. We will stream tomorrow then. In that case, no, Tuesday. Some 3 races left, so I've got 3 streams. So it should be Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday next week, and that will finish off seasons 1 of the Formula 1 Grand Prix. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care and happy gaming.